Hello world. How to remove blocks or psychological walls that we build in our life that prevents us from going forward, that prevents us from manifesting our desires. First, we must tap in and understand what blockages we have. Better yet, what beliefs are we holding on to that is no longer serving us? For instance, if you're seeking a better, loving relationship, but you feel like love isn't for everyone, it's hard to find a good man, a good woman, then the more you reinforce that, it becomes like a psychological wall that you build. And the more you talk about it, it forms a stronger bond to your mental. And the more that you feel that, then you start to receive more experiences about how hard it is to find love, a good person, a trusted person. And you must understand that where it comes from is from things that you perceive are not working out for you. Like you could be in a relationship and it didn't go, or you could have got mistreated or abused or cheated on. And now you might go into that there's no good men, there's no good women out there because that person didn't treat you right in your eyes, and they could have really hurt you. But when you say, I can't find a good person, then you put the collective whole inside this box. And little do you know when you say that I don't want that type of relationship no more. I don't want to experience that again. You really giving your attention to that, and wherever attention goes, energy flows, so then you repeat the process. It seems counterintuitive to say what you don't want, but when you say that, it keeps showing up. Then there's the biggest one, the psychological money blocks. First, you gotta recognize or think about, how do I feel about money? What have I been taught about money? What has been enforced to me in my life about money? So in a way, it's about going back to who or whatever influences people that started this feeling about money. Now, it is a lot of people that want to attract abundance and wealth into their life. But even though they want to do that, they can't seem to do it because of these blocks. So even though you want to manifest more money, a better job, more success in your life, it's going to be difficult because of the programming that you have about money and wealth. For example, when you were young, you could have grew up in a state called poverty, let's say. And the people before you might have looked at everybody else getting money, achieving things, but to them, it established in their brain and their psyche that, man, it's hard to get by. Everybody don't deserve to have wealth. Money is not for me. I don't feel worthy of money. It could be the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. It could have been money's the root of all evil. It could have been it's only who you know, that's how you're gonna make money. It could be a lot of different things that has set up this psychological wall that you create about money that's hard to break through. So, with that said, to remove the blocks, you gotta recognize what is blocking. And it can go even further, like with health. You could have limiting beliefs about your health. You can have limiting beliefs about success. You could have tried to do this and do this, but maybe wasn't aligned for that, and then it don't succeed, then you have this limiting belief. It's hard to be successful. But you have to remove the blocks first to achieve your desires. You have to dig in and say, what is blocking me from me being, doing, having the things I want in my life? And then tackle those blocks and break that barrier. And then whatever it is you desire, you don't have no block toward it, so it flows in. You see, when it comes to this whole thing, it's all about going inside. It's not changing the outside. It is not saying, I want more money, so let me work 2 or 3 jobs. That is basically matter, which is you trying to change matter, which is the thing that you're trying to bring about in your life, when really it has to go deeper than that. It has to be a mental thing that's inside to change the things on the outside. So you have to find out, what is my mental state? What is my feelings and emotions about the things that I'm trying to achieve in my life, and remove those to achieve it? Because there's nothing stopping you from getting these things you want in your life, whether it's love, health, abundance, better relationship. There's nothing stopping you except a block that you have. Think about it like this. Let's do two examples. Let's take Marcus and Todd. Marcus grew up around a lot of blocks. Everybody around him was always complaining about money. It's hard to get, and it is a struggle out here in this world. This world is tough, so that is fed to your subconscious mind. And then you grow up having them same blocks and repeating it, reinforcing it. Now let's take Todd. Todd didn't grow up like that. Todd grew up where nobody complained about money. Todd grew up where people told him that you can do, be, have anything that you want. Todd grew up where money was like abundant. The influences, the people, the uncles, the aunts, they never complained about money. There wasn't complaining about how things are so expensive. So he grew up without these blocks. But also Todd grew up with, even without those blocks, he grew up with arguing parents, or maybe somebody saying like, man, I hate relationships, love is hard to find. He could have grew up to where he had a cheating father, and his mom could have been saying men ain't shit, they're all cheaters. Now he grew up with a different block about relationships and love. And then Marcus over here could have grew up in, even though it was a struggling with money, he could have grew up in a loving home. So he don't have that blocks about love. He don't have that blocks about relationships. He believes in relationships. He's seen his parents throughout it all still have a good communication, respect for each other. But you see where I'm going? It's different blocks for different people that's stopping them from achieving the things that they want in life. So to remove the blocks, you have to tap in and see what your beliefs is about the things you want to desire. And once you find that, you can remove the blocks. Because the blocks is only a mental thing, a psychological thing that you keep telling yourself, a belief that you keep telling yourself. and then it gets housed in your subconscious mind, and then unconsciously you're running this program and you're vibrating on these frequencies of it's hard to get money, money is hard, money is the root of all evil, or whatever, and you have to tap in, get tuned in and turned on to these things that could causing you, that are, matter of fact, stopping you from manifesting the things in your life. Some people are just not looking for wealth and money. Like I said before, some people already have that. Some people are already fine financially, but they're missing this other part. So it's all about what type of walls that you put up, what type of blockages that you have through life that really stops you from succeeding or manifesting your desires. And once you recognize what it is, once you give, or once you are aware of what it is, you can easily fix it. Now, when it comes to reprogramming, you first need to recognize what the problem is, and then I know this for a fact that my mind, when I go to sleep, the conscious part of my mind, it goes to sleep like the body, but my subconscious mind stays awake, but it's not awake in the same brain wave or brain level that it was when it was woke. So you're dropping from this beta to this alpha to this theta, which then becomes the programming. Think of it like this, like to reprogram, to get information in the subconscious mind, you think of it like pulling out to a busy traffic road. That's your beta state. Everything is moving. Thoughts coming in just like traffic. How do you get something in if it's on the other side of traffic? How does it get into this subconscious part where you're at? So you have these two-way streets. The thing that you need to program you over here is over there, but it can't get through because it's too much traffic and noise. That's your beta brain wave. Okay, as you relax, you start to go to sleep. You go into the alpha. It's slower traffic. It's less thoughts. Then you go to the theta. Now things can come in. Things can get downloaded to reprogram these thoughts that wasn't serving you, or these programs that's not serving you to achieve and acquire the things that you want in life. So, if you know that you go from the beta, the alpha, the theta to the delta states. Delta is like the deep dreaming. If you know you go through these levels, then what would be a crucial time to program my mind while I'm asleep. That's the alpha and theta. Preferably the theta. But alpha is where you want to be when you set it up. When you go into these plane of affirmations, subliminals, binaural beats to reprogram your mind while your conscious mind is asleep. That conscious mind is like I want to say the conscious part of your mind is like the middleman. Like, it's gonna pretend like it's running the show. The conscious part of your mind puts up a big front of saying he's the captain. But really, come to find out, man, you just a co-captain. Really find out that you're just the middleman to the big man, which is the subconscious. So when the middleman goes to sleep, then you have information going straight to your subconscious. It's even passing your critical divide, your gatekeeper part of your mind, that filter. It's not blocking nothing. Things are going zoop, 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 zoop into the reprogramming of your mind to get different things in your life. You got to think about it like, we know that the way we think, feel is in the programming of our subconscious mind. We should know that by now. 95% of our body functions and our beliefs are housed in this subconscious part of the mind. And it only got there through repetition. Repeated thoughts, repeated seeing the same situations. It gets stuck. It's like hardwired over here. And unconsciously, we go about living our life with these beliefs about the money, success, love, because it's been hardwired. So even though you want this, want that, want to experience this, you have to dive in and change the programming. You can also change the blockages in the programming by seeing and experiencing. Your vision of things will repetitiously change the subconscious mind. So say, for instance, you're looking for love, but you're surrounded by a lot of people that's arguing or complaining about their relationship. It's going to keep it stuck. But if you went to a different environment and you seen people's holding hands, and you seen people talking on a bench, and you went to a place where people were getting along, where you seen relationships working, it's going in their subconscious mind. If you're trying to attract wealth and you have a belief that it's hard to make money, but then you go to a place where successful people are, and people are spending money, and people are happy doing it in these environments, and you surrounding yourself where people are not talking about money in that way, it starts to move in your subconscious mind. That's just one way. Then you have your affirmations to do it at night. And then you have the programs that you're watching every day. If you're watching reality shows, for instance, and people are not getting along, and people are being judgmental, people are going crazy through relationships, then you're feeding that in your mind. Then You can watch shows maybe with about love and relationships, people enjoying being together. It's going in your subconscious mind. So to remove the blocks, recognize what's blocking you, or limit it into like this. I know I want to do this and I want to do that. Let me prioritize. What do I want to do first? Let me tackle that first. Let me understand this first. Let me do that, because when we have these blocks, you know, I know that it doesn't apply. Somebody could be experiencing a bad relationship, talking about it and how bad it is. Then this other person could be experiencing a wonderful relationship, how good it is. We're getting married. We have a good future in love. So it's only the difference, you know. This person is experiencing it this way. You might be experiencing it that way. Same thing with the wealth aspect. Some people are or have experienced a really crazy experience with wealth. Then you have these other people that has experienced wealth on a different level. So depending on your experience with it, depending on your perception of it, you know. But when people say it's hard to make money, it's hard, that don't apply to nobody but you and the people that believe that. It's hard to find a good person. It's hard to find a good man, a good woman. They're all cheating. That depends on you and the people that believe that. But rest assured, that's two sides of the coin. Somebody else is experiencing wealth. Somebody else is experiencing love. You just need to tap into that and get away from what is blocking you to experience that. So the brain loves repetition. I made a video, and if repetition is what did it, which it did, then repetition got to be the thing to fix it. So you're like repeatedly till I change the program, till I create new neural pathways in my brain for it to a new road for it to go on. It's like, man, I usually go down this road where money is hard. Now he's thinking about more and more about how good money is, and money is not this and that. The brain starts creating new neural pathways to take you on. This is science, you know. So being aware of what blocks you have and what beliefs that you have about the life, the situation you want to experience is first. And then without force, without saying, I don't want that, or feel like this, I'm not going to get that, you don't do that. You just start focusing on how good the thing that you want is. And you start exposing your brain to situations that validate that. And then you change the program. Then you remove the blocks. Hello, world.